Us on this edition of the news. We begin this edition in house today. Cameroon joins other countries to observe the World Tuberculosis Day with over 1,500 cases of tuberculosis recorded in children. Pulmonologists raising a consensus or awareness on the dangers of the disease and the need for children to get vaccinated after birth. The experts equally raised concerns on the high mortality rate in children, which according to them is due to late diagnosis. Immaculate Fogwe spoke with some pulmonologists. She now tells us more in this report. And now we talk something else. We will surely be coming to that element in this edition of the news, in the course of the news. Now we take you to the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, where traders of Avenue Kennedy in Yaoundé are in distress after their shops were demolished by the Yaoundé City Council. According to the council, the exercise is to fight against urban disorder, and the sites will be used for the construction of a parking lot. Lucille Yengu is here to tell us more. We come back to this report of Lucille Yengu Esier at the Avenue Kennedy in Yaoundé, where she tells us that the traders are in distress after their shops were demolished by the Yaoundé City Council. And according to the council officials, the exercise is to fight against urban disorder, and the sites will be used for the construction of a parking lot.
It was a sad morning for traders of Avenue Kennedy after their shops were brought down by workers of the Yaoundé City Council. We have lost a lot. With the demolition, so many youths will be forced to go back to the streets. Phones, appliances, we don't know what to do. Honestly, we just need to start all over again. A difficult situation for most of them who complain the demolition exercise did not respect the terms presented by the city mayor. Few days ago, the mayor was here. He said he will destroy 10 meters from the gutter. The initial limit was not respected. They destroyed more than we expected. Those who were not concerned couldn't remove their stuffs. While others complained, they were not informed on time. We were given 24 hours. We were expecting, but not sure. Can we do? With what powers even? According to information gotten from the communication service at the Yaoundé City Council, a notice was sent to the victims in October 2022 that the demolition was to take place from December 2022. The site, according to the council, will be used for the realization of some projects, precisely the construction of a parking lot.
And now over to the Mungu division of the Littoral region. The population of Melong, to be more precise, are demanding the municipal authorities to create a motor park to curb urban disorder that paralyzes, according to them, circulation on the National Road number 5. Apart from that, the population say they are also victims of frequent road accidents. Innocent Aze tells us more.
Circulating on the National Road number 5 in the Mungu division of the Littoral region on weekdays is becoming more and more cumbersome due to traffic jam provoked by urban disorder. On weekends, the situation is unbearable, precisely at Rompoint Melong and Carrefour Forêt. According to the population, people are blocked in traffic for 30 to 45 minutes. This is due to lack of a motor park. The Melong Council authorities should have thoughts of creating a motor park for all these interurban transporters. They have transformed the roads as their motor park, thereby creating congestion. It is very difficult to circulate.
C'est comme ça du matin jusqu'au soir. Ça peut faire 2 heures de temps ici. Tous les week-ends, c'est encore grave. Ça peut prendre de 14 heures à 20 heures.
To avoid spending this length of time on a particular spot, some drivers are compelled to use another route to reach their destination.
Surtout quand c'est bloqué à la forêt. Souvent, on est obligé de contourner par la ville. Sortir loin devant au Carrefour Imo. avant de continuer le voyage parce que c'est bouché.
We are told accidents are thus common here, and foodstuffs marketed by the roadside are smashed by tires of vehicles struggling to pass.
On n'est pas en sécurité avec nos petits enfants qui viennent faire un quotidien. Parfois,
at times, the vehicles even step on the feet of roadside vendors and on their foodstuffs. The accidents aggravate the traffic jam. Speaking to Jean Kwete, Mayor of Melong, he says the council has already envisaged the creation of 2 motor parks to curb this form of urban disorder.
La mairie de Melong.
The council plans to create 2 motor parks, one at La Forêt and the other at Rond-Point. I am confident few days from now these 2 projects will be realized.
Je crois que vous allez voir la réhabilitation de tous ces 2 projets. In the meantime, the council has ensured the rehabilitation of the old road that passes through Melong Center, leading to Carrefour La Forêt, in a bid to limit the tight traffic jam and accidents on the National Road number 5.
And now shall we take you to the southwest region of the country, precisely in the Meme division. We told you in the headlines that the installation ceremony of His Majesty Chief Justice Benjamin Mutanga, it were the paramount ruler of the Bakundu people of the southwest region, was done. That was recently amidst tension, but thanks to the togetherness of the people and the authorities, he was crowned as the paramount ruler, and during his coronation ceremony, he called on the local administration to stay off the traditional authorities' decisions. Let's now have more on that coronation ceremony with Mala Glory.
The Bakundu people in the southwest region have not been in a gathering like this for several years. After the death of their former chief, the people waited patiently for a new chief. The coronation of His Majesty Chief Justice Benjamin Mutunga Itue assembled the natives once again.
Because since that Okia died, it has been for long. We are in cold for long without seeing any person who is aspiring, who has indicated. So we sat down and said the tribe cannot be silent like that. After the Bombay gave us the person like Tata Mataka, who had the title that was given to him by Tata Ukia Bakundu, we thought that it's wise to choose him as Tata Ukia choosing as the leader of the Bakundu, to give him the position to pilot the affairs of Bakundu ahead.
An event which came amidst political conflict, according to locals. During the ceremony, the Bakundu women called for the newly crowned chief to consider women in his decision-making, to restore their culture, such as the Bakundu Cultural Union and the Bakundu Development Association.
Make it start with Bakundu.
Let him start by bringing back the Bakundu Cultural Union, which we have missed for several years. It permits us to come together at least once in a year.
We discuss, we interact.
Some members of the traditional sacred cults say they were almost derailed during the coronation process, but are satisfied as their choice of a leader has been considered. The people rejoiced after Chief Mutunga was pulled out of the crowd. He was presented to the people and especially to God Almighty as he takes his staff of authority.
That may this place lead you as you lead your people now to the end of it.
The paramount chief at the end of the coronation process promised to be a good leader to his people.
I will do the best to continue serving them and to continue placing them in positions of responsibility. And nobody can win, not only Cameroonians in Bakundu, but also as a Cameroonian whose merits and whose services have no frontier.
The groundbreaking event was highly animated by interesting cultural displays.
With an additional title, decoration.
And now we come back to this report in politics. 28 female senators make up the list of 70 senators elected from the March 12 senatorial elections. On party representation, it will be an all-CPDM elected set of senators after a 100% victory proclaimed by the Constitutional Council. For me, Armstrong Sander is among that beat.
The results of the March 12 polls were proclaimed Thursday, March 23, 2023, in a solemn court session at the Yaoundé Conference Center, chaired by Clement Atangana, President of the Constitutional Council. Praising the conduct of the election, Clement Atangana said that the senatorial election went on hitch-free across the national triangle within the ambit of the law. Presenting the results as obtained from the 58 polling stations to the 10 senatorial constituencies in Cameroon, Clement Atangana declared the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement Party as winner of all the 70 seats available. The CPDM was the only political party competing in all 10 regions and alone in the south and southwest regions, making it an easy win for the party of the Flames. Incumbent senators who attended the results proclamation solemn court session said they will work hard to hasten the decentralization process in the country. Following the reading of the results, women make up 28 of the 70 elected senators, a percentage which promoters of more women in politics says it is a growth which is welcome, but hope that more female senators be appointed by the president in order to strive for equality. 30 other senators are expected to be appointed by the head of state in the coming days to make up the 100 required for a complete upper house of parliament. The solemn ceremony for the proclamation of the election of senators was attended by Prime Minister Chief Dr. Joseph Dion Gute, cabinet ministers, members of diplomatic corps, and civil society leaders. The 100% victory of the CPDM party has been interpreted by political observers as a negative input to the democratic image of Cameroon.
And now we talk sports, viewers. The under-23 national men's football team will take on their Gabonese counterparts in the first leg qualifiers for the under-23 Africa Cup of Nations this weekend. That would be in Gabon. Our sportsman Smart Ndikan Gabriel now gives us a sports weekend roundup.
Under-23 Indomitable Lions are in Franceville, Gabon, ahead of their first leg match against the under-23 Panthers. The under-23 team left the country this Friday via the Nsimalene International Airport. The return leg match will be played in Yaoundé on March 28, 2023. The under-23 Africa Cup of Nations will be hosted by Morocco between June 24th and July 8, 2023. The top 3 teams at the end of the tournament will qualify for the Summer Olympic Men's Football Tournament in Paris, with the 4th place team taking on an Asian side in a playoff. 6 out of 8 matches counting for match day 18 of the Elite 1 League will be played this weekend in stadia across the national territory. In Group A, the top match this Sunday will be the clash between Canon Sportif of Yaoundé and Coton Sport of Garoua at the Ngwaikele pitch. The Cotton Pluckers, who have been on a 6-match winless run, reunited with victory in the course of the week with a 1-0 victory against Njiko in a delayed match day 15 encounter. Meanwhile, in Group B, Bambutus of Mbuda will struggle to consolidate their top spot when they take on Fovo Azul. Douala will be the headquarters of athletics this weekend as the International Grand Prix comes to the Bepanda Omnisport Stadium this Sunday. The one-day event will have 11 disciplines: 100 meters race, 100 meters hurdles, 110 meters hurdles, 200 meters, 400 meters, 400 meters hurdles, 800 meters, 5,000 meters, high jump, triple jump, shot put, and discus throw. Apart from Cameroon, which is the host nation, 13 other countries, amongst them the USA, France, Portugal, Senegal, Gambia, Kenya, Togo, Benin, Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Chad, the Central African Republic, and Ivory Coast, will be participating at the Athletics Grand Prix.
Thanks so much for that report. It brings us to the end of the first part of the news. Viewers, Talking Points comes up next. Stay with us. Welcome back, viewers. Our guest tonight is a Muslim. He is an Imam Mom Bangshangle Ngati Ismail. Thank you so much for accepting to be our guest on Talking Points tonight.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salam ala ashrafi anbiya wal mursalin. Nabiyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man tabi'ahum ihsani ila yawmiddin wa sallama tasliman kasiran. Alhamdulillah, summa alhamdulillah. I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having brought this holy month of Ramadan to all the Muslim faithful all over the world. Thank you very much, Madam, for giving me the opportunity to give some clarification concerning this holy month of Ramadan. The month of Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and it is the month in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descended the Holy Quran to our Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and blessing of Allah be upon him as guidance for mankind.
Thank you again, Imam, for accepting to be our guest. Can you now tell us somehow, a little more detailedly, the significance of this 29 or 30-day period of fasting, prayer, and almsgiving?
I will first of all say the month of Ramadan has a lot of blessing. I will start with the spiritual connotation of the month of Ramadan. You see, as the month of Ramadan enters, the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first thing that he does is that he chains all the demons. He put all the demons on chain, and then he opens the doors of paradise and he closes the doors of hellfire. So we call it the month of Rahmah. It's the month that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings a lot of blessings to the Muslim community. And if we want to take the month of Ramadan does not only involve spirituality, it also involves a lot of things. For example, biological significance of the month of Ramadan. You see, if you have an engine that every day you put oil in it, you don't make what they call vidange, you don't drain it to put new one, very soon you see that engine will have a lot of problems. So during this holy month of Ramadan, the digestive tube rests a bit, and then to start work again after the month of Ramadan. And then social significance. You see, in the community, there are a lot of people that don't have what to live on, what to eat. When they see the rich among us, they say, please, I don't have what to eat with my children. We see them as lazy people. We see them as people that doesn't have significance. But in the month of Ramadan, when you have all the money, you stay, you are hungry, you will feel what the poor people, the hungry people are feeling. And that will really unite the heart of people that have something and people that does not have. It's a very, very great month for the life of all the Muslim faithful. And again, on this month of Ramadan, like towards the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan, there's a day that we call Laylatul Qadr. And the Laylatul Qadr is the night of power. With this night of power, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends malaika angels, a lot of them, on that night of power, and they come down with a lot of decree. And one of this night is equivalent to 1,000 months, which is about 83.33 years. So if this night meets a Muslim faithful worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is as if you have worshipped God for more than 83 years.
And now, Imam Ismail, the 30-day period of praying consists of prayers, fasting, and almsgiving. Now, what are Muslims supposed to do during prayers, almsgiving, and fasting? What do these three aspects consist of precisely?
I would say, in general, Muslims pray 5 times a day, whether during the month of Ramadan or out of the month of Ramadan. And during the month of Ramadan, Muslims have special prayers. One of the special prayers is what we call Taraweeh. It's called Taraweeh. With the Taraweeh is either 8 or 10 rakats, units of prayers that Muslim faithfuls pray after the last prayers of the night that we call Salatu Isha. After that, we pray that 8 or 10 units of prayers. They call it prayers of Taraweeh. And it is a special prayer that we pray only in the month of Ramadan. And then again, towards the end of the month of Ramadan, that is during the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan, we have what we call Qiyamul Layl, that is the night prayers. And with these night prayers, Muslim faithful wakes up from the bed, they sleep. But around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, they wake up and then goes to the mosque in order to observe this prayer. And this prayer is accompanied with a lot of reading of Quran, with a lot of recitation of Quran, prostration, inclination, and so on. So as concerns prayers, those are the specific prayers that we do in the month of Ramadan, apart from the 5 daily prayers that we do. Yes. And then concerning fasting, in the month of Ramadan, we observe fasting from what they call lever du soleil, that is sunrise to sunset. So around 4:50 a.m. in the morning, we stop eating, and then we observe fasting up to when the sun is getting down to the horizon. That's which is around 6:33 p.m. this time, because time changes a bit. So within this period, from morning to evening, we don't eat, we don't drink, we don't carry out some comfort, like maybe having sexual intercourse with your wife. We don't go to certain unclean places, or to places that you will not hear something that is good. You will hear things that are haram, that are forbidden by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Places like game places, you don't go there. Places that you go and hear but music and so on, you don't go there, but you concentrate, because the eyes have to fast, your ears have to fast, your mouth has to fast, everything. And you don't pronounce words that will be aching to people in the society. So you conserve the mouth, you conserve your eye, you conserve your ear, and even your legs. If you know that your legs can take you to a place where you commit what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't permit, it is forbidden for you to use the leg to go there. And then concerning what you were saying, almsgiving. The month of Ramadan is a month where Muslims share a lot of things. When Muslims have a piece of date or one loaf of bread, he has to share with another Muslim in order to break the fast with, or in order to carry out his fasting with during this month of Ramadan. That is why you see there's a hadith, there's a saying of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that states that anybody that gives something to a fasting Muslim to break his fast with, you have the blessing of having fasted a day, without God the Almighty removing the blessings of the person that you have given that food to. So if every evening you, a fasting Muslim, you offer something for another Muslim to break his fast with, you will be like somebody who is having 2 days of fasting. You are on, and the fasting coming from the person that you've given something to break fasting with, without changing his own blessing. Allahu Akbar.
And now, Imam Ismail, how do women and children observe this 29 to 30 days period of fasting, prayer, and almsgiving leading to the feast of the Ramadan? How do they observe it? Do they also pray, fast, and do almsgiving like male adults do?
29 or 30 days, because on the 29th, Islamic month are either 29 or 30. So on the 29th day of this month of Ramadan, we will be looking at the new month. We'll be looking at the new month of Shawwal, which is the 10th month of the Islamic calendar. And if we don't see it on the 29th, we'll complete our fasting to 30. So the month of Ramadan is either 29 or 30 days. Now, for children that have not reached the age of puberty, fasting is not obligatory to them. It's not obligatory. But we encourage them. If we see them fasting, we allow them to fast. It's like training. They're like in the field of training. So if they can support it, no problem. If they can fast during the day, they eat, no problem. But we encourage them to fast. But for children that are above the age of puberty, fasting is obligatory for them. They have to observe fasting for these 29 or 30 days of the month of Ramadan. And then again, for women in terms of worship, women have the same quality. Women are equal to men in terms of worship. So what is is like obligatory to a man this month of Ramadan is also obligatory to the woman this month of Ramadan. So they also fast 29 or 30 days. But God the Almighty has said in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, that if any of you is a traveler or is sick, it is not advisable for you to fast. You can break your fast, and when you gain your health or when you come back from your travel and you are now stable, you can now pay the number of days that you missed during the month of Ramadan.
And now let's talk about this issue of the moon, which has to be spotted before Muslims begin with the 29 to 30-day period of fasting and prayer. This time around in Cameroon, we were told that it wasn't spotted on our territory. Can you explain a little to in fact, maybe to those who are watching us out there, to understand better about this issue of the moon being spotted before Muslims can begin with the 30-day period of fasting?
It's clear.
Okay.
If somebody is saying something is not clear in Islam, either that person doesn't know or that person is confused. Because the month, the 8th month, which is the month of Shaban, that follows the month of Ramadan, on the 29th of the month of Shaban, which was Wednesday, all Muslim faithful were observing the month of Ramadan to see if it will appear. And we in Cameroon, we have a commission that is responsible for crescent month. They are responsible to, observe the month of Ramadan and announce it, make it public to the Muslim population in Cameroon. So on the 29th of the month of Shaban, they were there observing, trying to observe. We have equipment. Like we have equipment here in Cameroon to observe the month, and the month was not spotted on the 29th of the month of Shaban, so we had to complete the month of Shaban to 30 days. That is why yesterday, Wednesday, the 23rd of March, was now declared the first day of the month of Ramadan. So there was no confusion.
Thank you so much, Imam Ishmael. You are just to mention that you are the Imam of the Mustafa Mosque at Bois de Senche, where we, now, can you talk to your faithful out there, those who are observing we have begun observing the 30-day period of fasting, prayer, and almsgiving. They are into day 2 today somehow. What message for them?
I will really thank the Almighty for keeping us alive up to this month of Ramadan, because we have brothers and sisters that fasted with us last year, but this year they are not more with us. They have gone to the world beyond. So it is not because they committed some sin, it's not because they did something great or something bad. We that are alive is not because we are so pure, it's not because it's because of the Ramadan, or it's because of the mercy of the Almighty that has made us to be alive. We will thank the Almighty for that mercy that He has given to us to see this month of Ramadan, and I will pray that the Almighty see us through this month of Ramadan and to give us the equivalent blessings that He has promised Muslim faithful, that any Muslim that fasts with the hope of having blessing from the Almighty, Allah will give you blessing. So I'm praying that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should give us what we will use in the fasting of this month of Ramadan to preserve also our faith, and also to protect us from all the accidents, from anything that will spoil our fasting this holy month of Ramadan, and also to make us see the month of Ramadan next year.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Imam Bangshanglin Gachi Ishmael, for accepting to be our guest on Talking Point, so we can talk about what concerns the 30-day period of Ramadan, which is principally fasting, almsgiving, and prayers. Thank you so much once again. And viewers, we thank you so much for always being there. Don't go away. Our programs continue as usual in about 30 minutes or so. Equinoxe with Serge Alain Otu, and the news in the French language comes up at 8 p.m. Stay with us on Equinoxe Television. Bye-bye for now.